walked away, I called out your name. It was at that very moment I knew I would not be the same. You left me broken all alone, and now you will not pick up your phone. Did you think that would get me feeling down? No, that made me drive all around that old small town. Did you think I would drown in your pain? Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. As you drove on by that old glowing neon sign, you see me walking in with someone new. You thought you left me broken and alone, waiting for me to pick up that damn phone. Did you think I would move on? It was a new day you left for me tomorrow. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long.
Hello. So for those of you watching, if you like my original song, I wrote it, you can go give that video a like. I tend to like to share it. It's been a while since I've written something, and for some reason I just love the way this song turned out on Suno. Okay, so I guess Ernie thinks everybody's mad at him, and he's trying to trick people into believing that he's on his way to California, even though he went east with proof. I live here. I've been to the Amtrak station a million times, Ernie. The very second I seen it, I knew the architecture. I knew you was in Pittsburgh. So I went to Chat GPT and I put it in and just made sure. Hold on. You see, you said something interesting in your live, though. You think you're so funny. I hope you're here going to our wonderful hospitals, because Pittsburgh definitely has the best hospitals on the face of the earth. That's 100%. But I knew where you were the very second I seen the picture. But what I don't understand as last night you're acting like you're going to live at Van Hill Road. What was you doing? Sleeping in the bus station, Ernie? You're really dead set on this. You're traveling to catch people trafficking kids on the Greyhound bus. I think we should listen to a little bit of your live because I have questions. Who's Robert, Ernie? You said you were going to visit a family member or somebody you knew named Robert. Now I know, and you know, that we know a couple Roberts in common here in Pittsburgh.
Understand? They're telling you. Not allowed to watch me no more. So not allowed to watch me no more. So we got to listen to those people, right? They own YouTube and they do as they want to do, right? I've been iced out and we like shit. I tell you, you're going to watch me shave Ernie's suitcase? That's good, but the suitcase is usually in the other room. I'm sorry, just action, just telling you about it. Just for future. So I've been iced out, people. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do know there's a lot of mad motherfuckers, and I know that you go where you want to. Thank you, Dodie. I appreciate that, honey, and I'm glad you're green. You look good as green. I'll be honest with you. You do look good in green. I ain't gonna lie. So, do I put a little bit of shit into it? Hell yeah, I throw a lot of shit into it. I throw a lot of character into my damn shows. I put a little bit of mix of Deadpool in there. I put a little mix of little Spotty Man. I put a little mix of fucking Superman. Sometimes I'm mysterious like Batman. Hell,
I forgot this part. He's going to go on to tell us that he's Wolverine, and then he's going to grift for Wolverine. All the things the dude is homeless right now. He's living Greyhound to Greyhound, and all the things on the earth, he's asking for expensive food instead of something just to get by, right? But now he's going to grift for a Wolverine glove. A Wolverine glove, because he thinks he's Wolverine because they're the same size.
I just mix all kinds of shit together. I mean, I haven't been using no Aquaman here lately, and really I don't try to stay too close to the water like that. But anyway, it is what it is. I think we're all grown and can make our own decisions, but they tell you, old roads, you have to understand. They're telling you you're not allowed to be over here. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. I believe they're winning. I believe they're really winning, but I believe they're mad too. You know, this is going to be talked about today when I say this, but I'm saying this just for a key. I made everybody so mad at me. Literally, they're all so mad. Literally, I mean, really bad mad. So I bought me a Wolverine mask. I just want everybody to know that I ordered a Wolverine mask. It should be coming in the mail. I had to have an address, so my friend, the preacher, he said I could use his address. So I got me a Wolverine mask. All I need is the claws because I'm only 5'4", and I think in the comics Wolverine is 5'6" or some shit like that. But anyways, it's the closest character that I could come close to because of my height. Me being 5'4" and everything, and looking like a little hairy baboon or something, like a little bit old fucked up little fella running around. I think I would come closer to being Wolverine than anything else. I mean, even though I'd like to be Superman and I wear the Superman symbol and stuff, it's just a thing about it. I can't be Superman. I'm just too short. I'm the Superman. I mean, probably the shortest Superman is 6'2", 6'1", or some shit like that. Even with my lifts and 2 or 3 sets of lifts in, I only come to be about 5'10". So I can't even reach Katie's height. So we have to understand that I have to stay within my own boundaries, and I'm thinking that's Wolverine. So I did get me a Wolverine mask. I didn't get the suit because in the beginning he don't like to wear suits, and I do the leather jacket. The claws is natural, but yes, I think I'd be more, and also too because of my attitude and the way my temper is. I'd be a better Wolverine, especially my hair. Have you seen my hair and my old gray beard like stuff? Like my hair sticks up, like literally it kind of favors a Michael Myers type thing. So all I gotta do is take the hat off and shake my head, and I'm Wolverine. I'm Wolverine, folks. That's just it. I know I am. Now, even though I mix a little bit of Deadpool, I was looking at his height, and he's about 6 foot. I don't make that. I don't make that. I can't.
Because you're a smurf, Ernie. Did you literally tell us you're only 5'4"? You ain't no superhero. You wish you were. Oh my God. The Predator Hunter Nation. Now he's Wolverine.
Pull that off. I just don't pull that off real good. But I do pull the Wolverine off, the comic book version. Actually, I do. I do have a set of Wolverine claws, but I only have one set. I only have one set. If anybody wants to donate me another set, my Cash App is there, my PayPal, and my Chime. I do appreciate it. So somebody asked me to check my Chime and see if it was working, and it works fine. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate the $5. I was negative 17, now I'm negative 12. So thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was really helpful. It really was. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. And yes, in my character, I am a character. I am. I am a character. I really am. Hello, Sarah Ninja. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm so sad that you're not green, but you should be. But anyways, if you look at the photo that I put up in let's do this right here. Let's just do this. Let's put this up right here right fast. I wanted to show you all. I wanted to talk about this today. I'm not. Let's see. Let me see how I can say this without being such a mean person. You know, I don't want to be mean. I want to be nice today, but I am mad. Not really. You all are mad. I'm not. First off, I want to show you all this right here. This is an awesome. This is an awesome meal, folks. And the only bad thing about this here is the price of this meal. This meal right here. Now the cake was fucking amazing. The cake was awesome. This is on my birthday. This is on my birthday, folks. This is my cake I had for my birthday. I bought yes, I treated myself to a cake. Yes, I did. Thank you.
That pizza looks gross. Ernie, the grift is just as bad as Ziggy's grift. It really is.
And so I want to show you this here, but I want y'all to understand that I mean, you know, the things that I do are very lightly and friendly. I don't never hurt nobody. This was taken this morning. I took this morning, by the way. If you know where I'm at, can y'all please tell me where I'm at? Because I don't know.
You know motherfucking well where you're at, and I know where you're at. What you doing here, Ern? What you doing in Pittsburgh? We're going to listen a little bit more for how you're visiting Robert. Again, you and I both know we have a few Roberts in common. Right? You pick. Bodzer, Truxell, Thrasher. Which one you going to visit? Maybe a Rocky and Sean thrown in there? A Neil Galker? You're fam, right? You're Indian, right? Russian. They celebrate Russian Christmas. You ever been to one? Now, you've admitted to knowing these people, and I've met somebody who knows you in real life. Not that I've met them. I've known that person my whole life. Hi, Danny Keister. How are you? Ernie, I'm going to bet you're on your way to the YMCA in McKeesport for a place to live. That's my thought. Bam, hooking you up. I called out you and him and Christy, Vincent, over there with fucking Ziggy. This shit ain't a joke no more. It really is not, and I really think you're up to something sick. That's my opinion. I'm welcome to it. But hey, listen, we have the best hospitals in Pittsburgh. You get your AIDS flu taken care of there. I hope that's what you're doing. And if you're a good guy, I welcome you. Said anybody who wants to buy you food. How about Thursday or Friday we go out to lunch? I'd love to meet you in person and talk to you about the people you know. Since you're here, literally 5-10 minutes away from my home. Right? I hope you ain't here to fuck with me. Moving on. Let's listen a little bit further for his Robert.
Oh, where I'm at. But I did take this picture for everybody to skip tracers. We wanted the skip tracers to try to figure this one out. This is me this morning. Yes, I am 5 years old. Thank you. And I do need masks. Thank you. I love masks. As a matter of fact, I like to custom mask. I like to buy them and custom my own ways and stuff. Because I'm an artist myself. I used to be. I just don't have the tools anymore. But if you can figure out where this is at, that gives you a little bit of hint about me. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, these skip tracers they got here, they're just nowhere near me. And I figure that I want to give them an opportunity. You know, it ain't no fun when they're guessing, 400 miles out of the way. I mean, it's not. But I am heading to California. I'm just letting you all know that. I'm making my way toward California.
That's the whole opposite motherfucking direction, Ernie. From where you were in Tennessee, it's a 12-hour ride. That's why you were hanging around at that bus stop. Waiting for the bus to Pittsburgh, huh? Let's have lunch.
And I can't tell you exactly when it's going to be because you know how it is. When you're hitching rides here and there and you ain't got your own stuff, I'm just telling you, it's hell, people. It's hell. But I did sign with the churches, and I will be doing their predator program. I think that's a real good thing. I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to put.
I'm going to guess the church you're going to. You ready? Let's take a stroll. You want to talk about Dominic Mascani? I wonder if you know him. Ernie. Hold on. We want to go to 5th Street. Where you going, Ern? You want to talk about it, Ernie? Would this happen to be where you're on your way to? Your fam used to live, or your friends, whatever they are. It sounds like you're saying their family, right? Where they used to live. Huh? Damn, they tore it down. There's a white fence there, though. That's odd. They must be getting ready to build something, Ernie. It was this morning, Brat. He thinks I'm fucking playing. The dude already admitted to fucking knowing the people I know.
Me back in order and get me back in the shape that I need to, to continue on doing what I'm doing. However, this will be at the end of January, and we're at the beginning of January, so we have the whole fucking month of January. Then I'm not just going to say it in Georgia. You know, I would never say it in Georgia and do all that. As a matter of fact, I lied to you. I didn't go to Georgia. I didn't go to Georgia at all. I actually was in Tennessee, Dalton area, Georgia. There, I wasn't too far down. Um, I have a group of people that I like to stay with in the area. Yes, I lied, curiosity. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Do I have a red couch? No, I don't have a red couch. Not right just yet. Not right just yet. So, you know, what I call lying is really not lying. It's actually just misput. We're going to call it misputting, okay? Misputting. So anytime you hear me say the word misputting, you can say it might be a little bit of a lie. I don't think it's too much of a lie, but misputting is not really a lie. So yes, thank you for the kisses. I love that too. Thank you. Oh, you're telling crybaby kisses. Okay. So I do want to say this. I did have my nose swabbed and my throat swabbed and all this other shit done to me. And I do have what's called walking pneumonia. I have walking pneumonia. And I don't know really about
Pneumonia, you dumb fuck.
pneumonia, but I do know that I do have walking pneumonia. Um, you at the London Underground. Oh, Lord. But anyways, I do have walking pneumonia, and they gave me some antibiotics and some other things, and I've got to stop at the nearest Walgreens. So hold on to Miss Princess Fuzzy Butt. I'm not talking like a baby. I'm not talking like a baby. How am I talking like a baby?
He's in Pittsburgh with walking pneumonia.
How am I talking like a baby? I have walking pneumonia. I can't help it the way I sound, guys. And my voice is, and my chest is all compacted in and stuff. I mean, I just don't feel right. It was traced back to New England and me being outside, and I don't know. But I do appreciate everybody. Now, everybody,
Let me tell you that my daughter-in-law let my granddaughter out to play today, and I had concerns like, don't let her outside, Ernie Shell's in town. They must think I'm really fucking crazy, but I am dead serious. Stay away from my home. However, I'll meet you for lunch. I'm telling you, I'm betting you're on your way to the YMCA. Let's go have lunch together and go see Bam, Ernie.
I know you're zooming in on the picture. If you need a better picture, I took two of them for you, just so y'all would know and understand. And remember, most of all, people, I do love you. No matter what people say, I do love you. I really do. Here's you another one if you need another one. This is the same. It's a little bit different pose. I didn't know which pose you all would like, so I took two. You know, as in check it twice, cut it once. By doing this, I feel that if you put two pictures up instead of one, you can do a lot more with it. And with me, you know, I'm always a controversy, anyways, guys. And I don't think I want to be that controversy anymore. I feel there's other things that we can do, and we don't have to be a controversy. What do y'all feel? I mean, what's your all's opinions on this? So, anyways, getting back to the photo, I took two photos just for you guys so you'd understand it. Thank you, appreciate that. They're loading up right now. So here's the first one, guys. I know you all zoomed in on this, and make sure you zoom in on this one too as well. It's a different version. Maybe you might be able to see a different angle of the wall or something.
The Overwalk, the Sunbridge, Grand Station. Ernie, I only needed one photo. You didn't have to show three.
so out of the way, I was just letting y'all see this. I don't want y'all to know. But anyways, there's your two images, guys. If you need another image, I might have took another one. I don't know. Let me look. I just took this about 25 minutes ago. Anyways, I didn't want to give away too much, y'all. But knowing me, I probably did. I'm always doing something stupid, anyways. But it looks like, oh yeah, I did take this.
I edit. That photo's not photoshopped. You could tell, look at the trash can. You could tell by the shadows, he doesn't look like he's floating. I don't know when it was taken. He said 25 minutes ago. I'm going to hold him at his word. What are you doing here, Ernie? What church are you fucking with, Ernie? Told you I'm guessing.
This one here too. I forgot about it. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Again, I'm a little bit slow sometimes, but I did take this picture here too as well. If y'all want to see it, look, I'm looking right directly into the camera. You can notice there's some kind of sort of camera up there. Nothing's photoshopped in this picture, sweetie. I do appreciate that. I can barely keep track of where I'm at, let alone where you are. Yes, I know, but a lot of people want to know. Lucky we get to see more fake pics, aren't we lucky? Michelle, how's it fake pics? It's actually stationed, you dumbass. See, that's what I don't understand about you. You're so stupid. I mean, really, you really are the most stupidest person ever. I do appreciate that. Thank you. The weather's it's really cold, guys, to be honest with you. If y'all want to help with me freezing to death, um, you can donate to Cash App or PayPal or whatever you want to do. I did get some sleep. Over the next stations, well, a little bit down the road there's a hotel, real nice hotel. And they have a big barbecue place there. It's real nice. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to cover to eat. But anyways, it's all right. I had some McDonald's that's right across there too. So I do appreciate that. Thank you. I am an e-beggar. Thank you. Let me go ahead and tag that.
You can't even afford pizza and you're trying to tell me you're staying across the street from the point? No, and I heard they were closing that McDonald's down.
Let everybody know I'm an e-beggar. Everybody, I'm an e-beggar. I don't say that I'm not. I would never say that. I would never lie to you guys. Never ever.
It depends on which ones you're looking at, Kylie. It's a big family. Big family. And I love most of them with all of my heart. Very close. Grew up with them my whole life. From wee little kids. He definitely has family here. Actually, his cousin Neil, well, I wouldn't even say it was his cousin. It might be through marriage because there's these guys that married these ladies. They were brothers and they married sisters and they had kids whom were my best friends. But the Indian side, which he says he is, would be Bodzers. However, because the brothers are Galgers, I have a feeling that the wrestling world came in. Look up this dude, Neil Gallagher. He's such a fucking joke. He's a war vet. He's an amazing man. He did amazing things. But he's an abuser to one of my closest friends. These people really do know people up here, and We Can Bring You Hope really was involved. And they all track back to this one area right here. It's called the McKeesport area. I lived all over it as a child because my mom was an alcoholic and we moved often after we lost our home. Just at the top of them steps where I showed you his family's house that ain't there no more. It was knocked down. But I showed you the little white fence around it. I lived at the top of that hill. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 doors down. That's where I grew up. Oh, I ain't worried about it. I'm not too. I have cameras. My doors are locked. I worry about my grandbaby playing outside right now, though. Truth, I'd like to talk to you, Ernie. I'd like to know what your motives are for being in Pittsburgh.
Just like when he was at Curlin's lobby pretending it was a police station. Well, the police do go in and out of that area, so I didn't lie. I never said it was a police station. I said it led over to a police station, which it does. Thank you. Stupidest is not a word. Well, it's my word. It's my word. It's like me having walking pneumonia. You know, I have walking pneumonia, and that's all I can say about it. I'm sick, guys. If y'all want to donate, sad fishing for donos in 2026. It's better than standing outside in the cold weather with a cup. There, Dick with ears. Thank you. It is. Didn't Ernie say yesterday he makes the most money? Well, I do make the most money on YouTube, but that's secret money. I can't be giving away that. You know, the IRS is already breathing down my neck. You need some moonshine. Thank you, Sunny Days. You mean you may have some moonshine. You know what we do? Some moonshine. Lord God. I'd be sicker of 42 monkeys going south. Okay, so actually he said warming station, not police. Yes, it was a warming station. Thank you, beloved ghost. Thank you. It's just like the homeless log cabin motel, or what was it? The how was it? The homeless cabin, I forget what it was. Somebody help me out here. What was it? That's like if you got thrown out, it's warm there, now it's cold. Well, yeah, I've always been a liar for hire about my place. You see, I'm going to visit Viper. I want Viper to know how close I really am to him. But I want him to also know that there's not a goddamn thing he can do about it. I'm going to show you how good of a badass and a bad guy that I could be. And I'm sick. Oh, yeah, the mental homeless cabins. Thank you, Terex. It was the mental homeless cabins. We was there as well. 42 monkeys going south. Okay, so actually he said warming station, not police. Yes, it was a warming station. Thank you, beloved ghost. Thank you. It's just like the homeless log cabin motel, or what was it? The how was it? The homeless cabin, I forget what it was. Somebody help me out here. What was it? That's like if you got thrown out, it's warm there, now it's cold. Well, yeah, I've always been a liar for hire about my place. You see, I'm going to visit Viper. I want Viper to know how close I really am to him. But I want him to also know that there's not a goddamn thing he can do about it. I'm going to show you how good of a badass and a bad guy that I could be. And I'm sick. Oh, yeah, the mental homeless cabins. Thank you, Terex. It was the mental homeless cabins. We was there as well. You going to send me something? Sonny Daisy, you going to send me something? Well, honey, let me tell you something, baby doll. Ernie is ignoring.
I swear I heard Robert. He might have said Viper, but what's that mean? Viper lives in Pittsburgh? Who's Viper then, Ernie? Because you're in Pittsburgh. Them photos are 100% here. In my motherfucking city, in a place I've been to a million fucking times. Anyways, we're going to move on. Because this morning, I was showing, I don't know where he's talking about, Little Dev, but yes, we do have warming stations in our city. Maybe he's on his way to the homeless shelter down there. I don't fucking know what the fuck Ernie's doing, but my grandbaby won't be the fuck outside, I'll tell you that. Okay, moving on. This morning we had gone over an old live where I had found it. I never heard it before, and it was quite shocking. It had a lot of information in it with Ernie. It was one of the first lives Ernie did with Ziggy in January of 2022. However, his stance on things today are so different. He said he didn't know nothing about hotels. He didn't know nothing, right? But let's listen now to all of the crime he knows about 4 years later as he talks his shit about Playboy and all this crazy shit he knows about with Ziggy, his best friend.
So he should be here in a minute, hopefully. Unless he like stands me up or something. Hey everybody. Hey Amos. Hey Mama B. Hey Penny Monroe. Hey everybody, welcome Maria. Save the bees. Hey Okie Folky. Oh, there's the you guys, we have the special guest is here right now. And it's gonna be Ernie Shell. I heard him on somebody has sent me a clip of Crime Lions and Lies, and so some of the stuff that he was saying on her live were like on point for what me and Fred know. That what we believe is happening and the stuff that Fred's helped with in Knoxville. So, all right, here is Ernie. Hey, Ernie. It's been.
Hey, how you doing?
It's
Are
like,
you good?
yeah. Are you?
It's good to see you. Good to see you again.
You look good and healthy. So we're happy to see that. Yeah. How long's it been since you've been on panel here?
Oh my God, years.
This was like the first panel.
This was my first panel I ever came on. It is.
Ziggy
sure.
is always the one that introduces everybody into the community. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly.
Well, I don't know. You probably were already part of the community. I don't remember how it.
I actually wasn't. I mean, I was, but I wasn't. I wasn't a part of the actual community. I was coming in, it was during around the same time of the summer wells, and that's really what brought me in. And I remember watching your panel, and I seen you, and you was covering it, and there was a bunch of you up there, and I chimed in, and next thing you know, gave me a link. I came up, and then the rest is history.
Right. So I thought that we would talk about primarily focus on the Knoxville connection. Do you believe that Summer Wells' disappearance is related to Knoxville?
Yes.
Do you? Okay. So you do believe that for sure?
I believe that it has something to do with it, maybe before what actually happened. I do know for a fact that Don had Summer in Knoxville. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And and a lot of people, I know that, certain things. We both have been interviewed. We all, let's just say this: we all have been interviewed. We all have had our say-ins and set-ins with law enforcement. Correct?
Yeah.
So I know what I said and what I told, and I've heard bits and pieces of what others have said. Because once you start, you learn. Okay, so there's the thing of filling out the agents. You learn the agents. The agents talk to you here and there. But the thing about Knoxville that really stood out. When I was doing these trafficking classes, when I was doing this general awareness, I always said the hotels. Even Don, even when Don was doing the interview, when I was doing the interview with him, that was brought up. That was brought up. You remember that?
Yeah. Yep. And he was in phone calls about, being at places in hotels and seeing children traded for drugs and, so yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know if you ever had a chance to listen to that call, that Lady of the Night call that I was asking you to listen to about the Knoxville call, where the woman claimed to have known of Dawn and then found out the other person was Andy. She said a friend would come there sometimes, and I sent a picture of Andy, and it was confirmed that that's who they believed it was, allegedly. And
So notice Ziggy and Ernie's stories grew together. They have the same type of stories, and their stories became more elaborate together. Keep in mind, Ziggy lived in the same neighborhood as Ernie's Aunt Brenda Shell in Warsaw, Indiana.
And anyway, she said that.
And Brenda lived with Pete Clark there from Tennessee. Brandon Clark's father. And if you're not sure who he is, let me real quick. I have it. I might have to go look for it myself. I'm going to have to go look for it myself, but JLR did the walkthrough of the woods. I have it saved. We'll go through that later.
That Dawn and Andy used to come out there and to these, they get fronted drugs off a guy named Playboy, guy that went by Playboy. I believe this guy is dead now, unfortunately. That I think
he's dead. He's dead.
That's who I believe it is. Unfortunately, it might be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing if maybe people are like willing to talk now. They might feel safer. Maybe.
It's what they done. It's what they done in exchange for drugs. What really got me is when I heard when I heard that you and Fred was together, I thought, I was like, well, that's pretty unique. That's something how you guys actually met, right? Yeah. And I was like, it shocked the community. But I always knew that, Fred could be a piece of the puzzle, but he could also be a key. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by that, I knew what I had already with the field interviews I'd done in Knoxville with the hotels. As a matter of fact, a couple of those hotels that Don went to and done his dealings with in there was ones that was brought in for human trafficking, not even a month ago?
Well, yeah. And also, actually, a bunch of them were raided about a couple weeks after Fred went in and had them dip his phone and stuff with his conversation to this guy named DJ Smith, who was just so happened to be at the same transitional housing place in Knoxville that Fred was. It was weird.
Hello. You see? But you got a nice spot. Like I've always wanted to get a home in the back, in a back road, no traffic.
Dude, I'd look. Even like them old houses, me and my dad get mad.
What is that?
The church, bro.
Oh, people come here for church?
Yeah.
Really?
It's in the woods.
Oh, that is like totally cool. I never seen anything like that.
But let me tell you something. Right down here, there's more. I'm just gonna say this. There's more fucking land in Hall. I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I'm from Indiana. I've been down here 2 years now. And my family owns that next door. I saw Jim thing hunting this. When I heard she's missing, dude, I've been looking.
Oh, so you went out here yourself?
Yeah, I'm the only one. Look, nobody comes out here. You know what I mean? Like literally. I've seen them come. They come this way one day, like 6 of them, and I had a gun. I got my gun out, and I was like, Lucy, no, and because they snuck up on me, and then they had to address that they was the sheriff's department. Look,
did they ask for permission to come?
No,
they just came.
And then he was a prick. I said, hey, Well, if you need, hey, there's
Really odd how Frey got placed in Knoxville. It almost seemed intentional, like law enforcement.
You know, it was intentional. That was intentional. They had the hand in that. They had the oversight of that. You know that. Because when you remember when I was well, I ain't want to say his last year, when I was like, I need to get a hold of Fred, and he talked to Fred, and he was like, well, there's a Knoxville. And at that time, he didn't know my stance. I didn't know his stance. You know how it was. Now I do. And I'm like, we're on the same page. I'm just going to say that. We are on the same page. And that's what I want to be. I want to be on the same page. I don't want to be on a different sheet of music and playing a different tune. I don't want that. I want to be on the same page.
It just wasn't the right timing at the time for us to really speak, or for Fred to, but now's more like appropriate time since he's here and everything. He's here. He just doesn't like going on camera and all that. He's standing here. He'll probably chime in.
How you doing, Fred?
Hey,
How you doing, buddy? Hey, it's good to hear from you, man. I hope you're well.
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Yeah, 2 years clean, the 13th of this month. So
that's good. That's good. You got somebody for your inspiration, man. That's great, brother.
Yeah. So you say you talked to a bunch of the motels like down there, right? Did you talk to owners of motels?
Crystal's crime and music. Let me see what was going on. Why was Brooks reporting on Summer's aunt Rose on day one? Do you know? I don't know. Don't know. I didn't know nothing about that. The thought of fake Katie and Bird sleeping together makes me want to throw up. Well, Lori, I tell you, you know what? I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin another one too. Maybe somebody can answer that as a question. I'm pinning Lori's, and then I'm going to pin Crystal's crime and music. I think it's just, hell, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Crazy?
But he's not a monster. I don't think he is.
No, he's just somebody that threatened somebody's life. Literally, nobody was doing nothing to him and says, look, because he's mad because he was jealous because you probably like me or something like that shit, and I expressed a little bit of interest in you, and then the next thing you know, he comes on my live, he comes on my fucking live, and he says what he said. And I'm going to forgive him for that? No. He's on borrowed time. He don't even know it. It's already happening for him around him. Fuck him.
So, just leave Bird out of it. Come after me. I was the one that is responsible for this whole situation.
Well, my question is, what about the money? What about people? Or did you all split it? That right there makes you both accessories. Put it back. Brenda, okay, so Brenda is my dad's sister. Or was my dad's. I don't know if she passed away or not. In Warsaw, Indiana, next to Ziggy or near her. Oh, God. Fuck. She lives next to Ziggy. Wow.
I'm not sure if it was in this video, but this is where Ziggy's being Ernie's handler. And this is the live that Ernie admitted knowing the people that I'm accusing him of being cousins with.
Stay at 9 o'clock, jump on my piano. 9 or 10. I'm always late.
Okay, so hold on, my buddy's just sitting there messaging. So Lisa K ran off. So let's figure out what we're going to be doing. Okay, so
Tuesday at 9 or 10, if I can come up on your panel. Who else? What are we doing? What kind of panel is this? I really don't want to get into the summer well stuff. I really don't.
You just said you would go through the contents of that folder that Kathy gave you.
What is it? Well, the folder, I mean, all it was in it was the folder was like a map and some stuff like that. That was it. It was really it.
Okay, so can we see it?
I don't have it.
You said you did.
That was years ago.
That was last year. But, okay.
I
Well,
don't
if you
know
ever
that stuff. You know, look, the thing about it with summer wells, everybody, look, I've already been questioned so many times. I mean, I'm just wanting to get out of that. Like I said, I think something's going to happen.
Why do you think they question you so much?
Because he's fucking bullshit.
There you go.
No, do they think you're a suspect?
Crystal, he said it himself. He said he's a liar for hire. Those are words out of Ernie's mouth.
Do you think that Hawkins County and TBI think you're a suspect?
Well, I mean, Hawkins County does probably, but TBI don't.
Why do you think they think that?
Anyways, you get the point. I've talked to Ernie. Ernie has admitted to these things. He's taken a lot of the lives down as he usually does. This is getting pathetic with him. I don't know what the hell this man is up to, but it doesn't look good.
The extended stay live-ins there. You know, they do it bi-weekly or, you know, when you know a hotel and you stay at a hotel, usually they have this law that you can only stay like so many days. And then after the 30 days, 29 days or whatever, you have to start again. You can't stay the full 30 days. Well, some of them, you know, those extended stay hotels, you know, they're weekly and some of them are even monthly. So people actually live in those.
Mm-hmm.
They live in them.
Right.
So if you're going to live in them, you're going to bring your same lifestyle that you do if you had a regular house. If you had a hotel, it's the same thing. You're going to still bring your lifestyle with you, correct?
Yep.
Because it's repetitious.
Yeah, I'm just taking notes so I
But
remember.
yes, I talked to her.
Because I'll forget.
Not to mention, I've actually gone face to face with somebody who claims to know Ernie. And then that person got real fucking weird with me. Bam, where the fuck are you at? Now, you know I called the Y and I left a fucking message for you. I know you're still fucking there.
Forget if I'm writing stuff down that I'm thinking about asking you about and bringing up because I'll forget it. So I have to write it down so I remember. Because you mentioned something about the motel's structure and how a lot of times they would have a section kind of marked off for the trafficking, like, you know, basically the motel owner and the traffic.
They're in on it. They're in on it. They're in on it because they're getting paid a percentage of it. That's the way it works.
Did you know
am I right, Fred? I'm right, ain't I?
Yep.
I'm right.
Yeah.
They're in on it.
And that's what this woman in this call told me. And she claimed the guy that the owner of the motel that she knew about was the owner was named Habib. He went by Habib.
Yeah, Habib is his name, Habib or whatever the hell it is. Who it is?
Habib is a motel that she was particularly talking.
A racist comment.
About. She said from the front of the building, you would think it was just one level, but in that, right. You know, but you go around the back and there's two levels, and you know, most people don't go back there. Most people don't even. No. And they have regular customers for the front, you know, and they get, but in the back they have reserved.
It's the same as they had in Ocala. It's the same as they did in Ocala, Florida, with those hotels that I can't say, but it's the same.
Chapman Highway one.
Chapman Highway.
Chapman Highway. Yep.
Yeah. So right around.
And something else too, Fred. down there in Cherry Street. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I was about to say cherry and magnolia.
Yeah, it's right.
So this
Good stuff right there.
Tiger Ops took a drone around. I don't want to say this probably, but we had aerial view literally going down on those hotels. You can see the geographical area of it. You can see the dimensions of it. Sorry about that. The dimensions of it, and you can see that. It's just like same as in Ocala, Florida. The way they did last year. 24. It was in July. It was in June or July of last year. The way they did it. But the biggest thing now, with what's going on with that big raid, especially with the raid, what they did is they rattled cages, a lot of cages, to where they would move children everywhere, start moving this out, getting everything going out of the way. And the only reason they do that is so they can round up, they can capture. They're easier to capture because they have their surveillance teams. They've had their surveillance teams for 2.5 or 3 months. So, that's how it works. And but down there on, like you said, that Magnolia and other little Exit 8, I'd say Exit 8 too as well. They got the bigger hotel names and the smaller hotel names, and even on the Days Inns down there, man, I'm telling you, right?
Yep. Something interesting that I found interesting that I didn't know, and I didn't look into it to confirm it, but you mentioned something about that they would refer to the children as dogs, that was a code. That interesting.
Okay, so what it is kiddie pools. It's kiddie pools, and kiddie pools is a gathering like the hotels, but what they also have is a phrase that Fred may know. It's called hawks. That's their eyes.
Hawks? Yeah, well, Fred's not really into, he doesn't, he didn't really know people he didn't know people that were involved in trafficking.
No. I'm talking about, it's just a general term. Hawks of any kind of thing there. But anyways, I'm not saying he's in. I'm not saying he's in or like that. But I'm just saying it's just a general term. It's called hawks. Okay, so they have kiddie pools, hawks, and then they have the women who watch over you. Well, in Knoxville, it's not as bad as that. It's not as let's just say it's not as organized as that. It's nowhere near organized.
They told me that they had women that they were.
It's weird, little Dev. On some of my videos I do after my lives or videos are done, my husband's been hyping them. He showed it to me, but I went to look for it to hype myself earlier and I couldn't find it. But that's pretty cool, huh? Benny was talking about it. YouTube's bringing out all this new stuff. I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell the crowns are people were getting. And yesterday, people were sending chocolates and cupcakes to Benny, and I was trying to fucking send the chocolate and cupcake to Benny, and I don't know how. What involved in Summer going missing or her case? It's my opinion. Okay.
That would take care of the kids. And yes,
they're called bottoms.
Yeah, and that's what you were saying. And you were saying, and you remember Jody Sue said the dogs are the key to the case. Also, Andy Bernard also wears this dog necklace. Very symbolistic dog. To me, he looks, I don't know, it doesn't look right.
It's ownership.
Wow. So
it's for ownership. It's the signs and symbols, but it's used for ownership. It's used for a degree and a level. That's what it's for. It's a degree and a level. Each level is different. And to understand the chart and the way the levels go, well, you have to be in the group. You have to understand, because different groups and different, let's say, I ain't going to say organizations. I'm going to say societies. I'm going to say more of a society. Rings, same as, have their different rules, just as the.
But this morning he knew nothing about rings. In 2022, he knew nothing about rings. Something I want to remind you of. Let's go watch another one of my videos. Because Benny said yesterday, Ernie's just a liar. Shit. Hold on. But the one thing I would ask Benny to remember that is 100% fact is this. Ernie worked with all the criminals in that area.
The Hay House shut down in Kingsport with very little explanation. An investigative report released today shows the facility closed in part because of problems with the employment of the director's son-in-law.
Kevin Cassington looked through a report released by the state controller of the Treasury and learned what that investigation uncovered. Sarah and Josh, the comptroller's office released a report detailing the results of the investigation into allegations of malfeasance at the Hay House. Now, investigators found the director's son-in-law, who was hired at the Hay House in 2014, was convicted of a felony. And in 2000, now he was a T-Dot corrections officer and smuggled a knife to an inmate and paid or promised to pay that inmate to harm another. Now, the son-in-law pleaded guilty to solicitation of attempted second-degree murder. Then in 2019, the Hay House director's son-in-law was indicted on 5 counts of theft. According to the report, in 2018, the son-in-law was arrested for theft while purchasing supplies for the Hay House. An offender living at the facility was with him. The Hay House continued to pay the director's son-in-law until he was fired in June 2018. The report states it's unclear if his timesheets between his arrest and termination were accurate. Other report findings included that a registered sex offender was employed at the Hay House for about 2 months. You can read the entire report released by the comptroller's office right now on WJHL.com.
Kingsport state investigators have issued a report on the John R. Hay House of Sullivan County, finding that the nonprofit organization made questionable salary payments to an employee and employed convicted felons, including a registered sex offender, for nearly 2 months. The investigation into allegations of malfeasance was done by the Tennessee Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury in conjunction with the Tennessee Department of Corrections, TDOC, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The investigation began after the TDOC identified and reported fiscal and contractual issues at the Hay House and was limited to records from July 2017 through January 2019. Founded in 1981, the Hay House 427E, Sullivan St. provided aid and assistance to people with criminal records. It ceased operations in June 2019. The nonprofit was funded primarily through an annual TDOC grant, along with some funding from the United Way and payments by residents for room and board. The Hay House was governed by a 9-member board of directors, which appointed Chuck Walsh as its director, along with other employees responsible for the day-to-day operations. Employing a convicted felon. Investigators found that the Hay House employed Walsh's son-in-law, Eric Monday, who was a convicted felon. According to the report, Monday began working at the Hay House in December 1997 as a transportation officer until March 2000, when he was hired by TDOC as a corrections officer. In July 2000, TDOC fired Monday after he admitted to smuggling a knife to an inmate and then promising to pay that inmate to harm another inmate. Monday subsequently pleaded guilty to attempted second-degree murder. However, in February 2014, the investigative report states Hay House again employed Monday as a case officer, eventually rising to the rank of facility manager. Questionable compensation. According to the report, Monday was indicted for theft while working at Hay House and received questionable compensation. In January 2019, Monday was indicted on 5 counts of theft of $1,000 or less. The matter is currently pending in Sullivan County. The indictment rose from several incidents in February and March 2018, when Monday and an offender at Hay House allegedly took items from a Kingsport store. These thefts took place when Monday was purchasing supplies for Hay House. Investigators say Hay House continued to pay Monday after he was arrested in April 2018 and until he was terminated in June 2018 for lack of work due to budget cuts. Since he was terminated for lack of work, Monday was able to file for unemployment in July 2018. Investigators say there's more than $7,100 in questionable payments to Monday from April 2018 until June 2018. Some of his timesheets include time off for vacation and excused leave, neither of which is allowed under the policy of Hay House. Registered sex offender. Investigators found Hay House employed a registered sex offender as a cook from August 2018 until October 2018. Neither the TDOC grant that funds the nonprofit organization or Hay House policy specifically states that employees must pass a background check. However, investigators say it should be reasonably expected that the purpose of a background check would be to determine that people who supervise those with criminal records do not have criminal records of their own. The report further lists 2 internal control and compliance deficiencies that TDOC did not detect Hay House employed convicted felons, and that TDOC did not detect an employee accrued and used leave in violation of Hay House policy. Sullivan County District Attorney Barry Staubus said he intends to submit the matter to the grand jury later this month to determine if there was any criminal activity or just administrative problems with the Hay House.
February 4th, 2020. Tennessee Department of Correction. Commissioner Tony Parker. 326th Avenue North. Nashville, TN 37243. Commissioner Parker. The Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury conducted an investigation of selected records of the John R. Hay House, Inc., and the results are presented herein. Copies of this report are being forwarded to Governor Bill Lee, the State Attorney General, the District Attorney General of the 2, the Judicial District, certain state legislators, and various other interested parties. A copy is available for public inspection in our office and may be viewed at http://www.comptroller.tn.gov/ia/. Sincerely, Justin P. Wilson, Comptroller of the Treasury. Investigative Report. John R. Hay House, Inc. The Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury, in conjunction with the Tennessee Department of Correction TDOC and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation TBI, investigated allegations of malfeasance related to John R. Hay House, Inc. The investigation was initiated after TDOC officials identified and reported fiscal and contractual issues. This investigation was limited to selected records for the period July 1st, 2017 through January 25, 2019. The results of the investigation were communicated with the Office of the District Attorney General of the 2nd Judicial District. Background: the John R. Hay House, Inc., JRHHH, located in Sullivan County, was founded on August 14, 1981, for the purpose of providing aid and assistance to persons with criminal records who reside in the Upper East Tennessee area. JRHH ceased operations on June 30, 2019, after the joint investigation provided community support through the following services: substance abuse treatment, housing, food, clothing, transportation, recreation, legal services, educational and employment services, financial and personal counseling, assistance in obtaining mental and physical health treatment services, and community placement assistance. JRH was a 501c3 nonprofit public benefit corporation funded primarily through an annual TDOC Community Correction and Substance Abuse Treatment Services Grant TDOC grant awarded over a 2-year period. JRHH also received funding from residents for room and board, as well as financial support from the United Way and other public donations. JRHH was governed by a 9-member board, which appointed a director and other officers who were responsible for conducting JRHH's day-to-day operations. The TDOC grant contract for the period provided that evaluation and monitoring of all grant-funded programs and financial expenditures, including on-site visits by TDOC staff and/or their designees, should be carried out in keeping with monitoring instruments created by the TDOC. The results of investigation. JRHH employed the director's son-in-law, a convicted felon. JRHH and TDOC records indicate that the JRHH director's son-in-law began working for JRHH.
You get the point. Let's go back to Ziggy and Ernie. Okay.
The HKCs, which I'll explain that later on.
I'm going to let you guys listen a minute and go smoke a blunt with my son. I'll be right back.
Yep. The woman told me that she was she claimed it was her friend. I believe she was speaking for herself. She knew way too many details. She claimed it was her friend, but she said that her friend was left a woman named Diamond who worked at the Mouse's Ear that went by Diamond, stage name, I'm assuming. And she goes, we'll just call this my friend Ruby. So I don't know if that was her stage name or if that, where she came up with Ruby. It just may have been made up. And she said she met this girl and they went to a party. They were in the drug scene and stuff. They were strippers, obviously. And her friend Diamond took her to this hotel, and that's where she met Playboy. They started partying. Her friend just left her there for her drug debt. And Don Wells used to frequent this girl, allegedly, and supposedly gave her a ride away from that place to basically escape, I guess. I don't know. To Blunttville. And this was actually around the time that Benny Keys was in Tennessee. When Dawn went off to Knoxville that Benny talks about, it's the same situation that I believe this woman is talking about, because it's the same time.
It's the same time Benny was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the same time. That's why, I tell you what, after this is over, not on live, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I mean, just like in Knoxville, about a mile before you get to the motels on the left side, they call it the circle, but they also call it the bottoms in there too. That's where the 3 houses they're supposed to be housing or not 3, but 2 houses that they were supposed to be housing the children at mostly.
You're talking about in that loop. Children. You're talking, hey Fred, you're talking about around that bottom in that loop, right?
Yep.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some woman named Colleen was supposed to be taking care of the kids.
Colleen, yeah, was supposed to be one of the bottoms that you talk about. That's what DJ Smith said. His girlfriend would go over there and buy Summer to try to keep her safe, is what she claimed.
But she would sit with all the children when they would go to Atlanta and stuff to pick up their big shipments.
Allegedly, this is what this guy was all saying and stuff, and Fred, of course, had to turn it in, and he knew it was going to go to law enforcement. He claimed completely. He claimed he was completely okay with it. I've seen it. I even talked to the dude a little bit and seen the messages and stuff. But when law enforcement downloaded Fred's phone, a lot of it disappeared. Yeah, when they freaking download your phones.
They hit it with ICAC. They took it to ICAC, and ICAC does about 2 weeks investigation. They plug that into the phone. It takes it all out. It puts it on their machine. And how long was your phone gone for? About a week or a half, 2 weeks?
Oh, they tried to keep it.
They wanted to keep it overnight, and then where I was having to check into everything I'd done through the halfway house, so I couldn't let them keep it. So they actually sent somebody from Knoxville to Hawkins County, a TBI man, to download everything.
They had somebody from Knoxville drive all the way to Hawkins County, and Fred had waited for a couple hours to then get there. And that's how serious they took this.
Was the
like a year ago?
Hey Fred, was the agent's name Dale?
I'm not for sure what the agent's name was.
But he said something about Pruitt or whoever the investigators were. They said something.
There were 6 other investigators in the room when we was going over all the maps and stuff. And
right.
They talked like they didn't want to push none of that on Pruitt's desk because nothing wouldn't get to the TBI.
And that's when I contacted TBI with all the information of Fred, all the work that Fred did with Hawkins County, because I was like, are they not telling TBI stuff?
Hey Fred, you seen what I went through with Hawkins County, man.
I don't know if he saw it.
What's that?
With Hawkins County, they told me to get out of there twice.
When you tried.
I've never talked to Pruitt, period, on nothing about Summer's case.
TBI had us. We was working with TBI. TBI told us go. They was on board with everything. They said go to Hawkins County and see if we could get everything we need together, because they're the ones officially with the case. TBI was assisting at first until TBI said, screw you guys, we're taking over. But during that time, Detective Pruitt is the one that was supposed to set us up, have everything ready. He waited 3 days, and then he called me back, and he's like, well, I really don't think that's going to help anything. And I'm sitting there like, according to 3 TBI agents, they're wanting us to do this. They're all for it, but Hawkins County didn't want to do anything. Directly after that is when Ronnie Lawson's son had got hit with that child pedophilia shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right directly after that.
That definitely did not help in Summer's case at all. And it makes you, it's really.
Well, they was trying to keep TBI out of it from day one.
Exactly.
Fred heard them specifically.
That was from day one when they asked me to record stuff. That was one point they wanted me to record stuff for them to try to keep a TBI come out of it.
Right, so they can make their own scenario up and have their own pretty much what they want to say, the syllable of it, everything. Yep. They wanted to be able to relate from you what you were saying and give it to TBI without going through a direct. See, that's ridiculous. Like a point of contact, use you for a point of contact, get your information, and them do their report on it, and then turn it into TBI. It's like going through the middleman to do that. When you should have, when instead of you just saying, hey, I want to go directly to a TBI, which is the right thing, what you really ended up doing in the right thing. Because Hawkins County ain't worth it ain't worth the decals that's on the side of their vehicles.
Yeah. Have you seen this call? I don't know. I want you to see this call if you haven't, with my call with Pruitt that I had a few months ago. Or no, back in December when he called me back and said, after I emailed TBI with all the information that Fred did with the Hawkins County, I emailed TBI and then got a call back from Hawkins County, and Pruitt called me. And so right here is the email I sent, and I'll read it out so that I got a response on. Okay. And I said, to whom it may concern, my name is Adrian Amos and I'm married to Fred Hill. I met him when I started YouTube channels covering Summer Wells back in January of 2022. I go by Ziggy on YouTube. I know you are adamant on not wanting YouTube drama sent in to Tipline and are leery when it comes to YouTube. This is different because Fred Hill is a witness and local who I met. We've been trying to get Hawkins County Sheriff's Department to listen for years now, and I'm contacting you all to make sure you know what exactly has been uncovered. Fred Hill, my husband, recorded for Hawkins County on June 15th, 16th, and 17th of 2021 on Ben Hill Road. At the time, he was in a very different lifestyle that he was completely put in the past, and he was in the drug scene. That is why law enforcement used him. One thing that was uncovered is that the neighbor, Andy Bernard, who is my husband's, Fred Hill's cousin, was on the road, and Fred saw him late afternoon around 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. Andy Bernard is all over YouTube denying he was on the road. You guys have video footage of Andy on the road, and he's denying he was there. He even told Hawkins County on the day that Summer went missing that he couldn't remember what he was driving that day, just hours earlier. I have uncovered over my years of research on this case that Andy Bernard and Don Wells would make many drug runs to Knoxville, Tennessee together. I feel at this point they both got into a drug debt that they had to do something about. My husband, Fred Hill, has vital information in this case, and we are wondering why Andy Bernard is not being interrogated to the fullest extent of the law. Andy Bernard knows what happened to Summer Wells. Please take this seriously. We are getting threats and are being blackmailed and remain quiet, along with a few others. We are getting threatened and attacked all over the internet, and I have been getting strange threatening emails along with people taking pictures of us, stalking us, and following us around. Please contact us if you have any questions. We want to help, and I believe Fred has important puzzle pieces necessary to figure this out. We want to make sure that Hawkins County Sheriff's Department has made you aware of exactly what happened when Fred recorded for them. Fred was not out and about. Fred was out and about on June 15, 2021, and he witnessed many things that are vital. We just don't understand why no one is doing anything. Please call us with questions. That was my email. And then I get a call back, okay? This was November 23rd of 2024. So, what, 7 months ago or something? Oh, here's another one. I sent this one too, so I wasn't sure at the time. I sent these like basically back to back. I said, my husband Fred Hill told me something important last night that Don Wells told him the night CPS was alerted by Don Wells to come get the boys. I know Don Wells did that because that night Don went up went down to Fred's at 207 Ben Hill Road and asked Fred for help. He was frantically trying to come up with money for his drug dealer, and he seemed concerned that his sons would be taken just like Summer Wells. So that's why he called CPS. Don Wells was asking Fred to come with him to Knoxville to help negotiate a deal with the dealer on his debt. Don didn't mention if the dealer had Summer Wells, but I can only assume that's who Don Wells, and in my opinion, Andy Bernard handed her off to. Also, Fred Hill wants to remind you guys about the white HHR that sat at Beach Creek right across the bottom of a shed property of Don's for days before Summer Wells went missing, and then suddenly the evening she went missing, it was gone. And also very important is a dark blue truck with tinted windows that followed Andy Bernard out of the holler on June 15, 2021. Please call with questions. So, and then that was actually the email. Come to find out, that was actually the email that had him call back. It was the dark blue truck that he was concerned.
Because they found out who drove the white HHR.
Yeah, which we believe is related to Cotton Simpson, the white HHR. All right. Let's listen to this. We need to listen to this. Yeah, which email did you get? I sent a couple within the last week.
The one about the dark blue pickup truck with tinted windows.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and so, okay, what do you want to know? I'm so sorry, I'm freaking been dealing with this. I'm extremely nervous. I've been getting harassed and I've been yeah, I don't know if you know, do you know who I am by chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So anyways, Fred's here. He's in the room just in case you need to ask any questions. But the reason why I sent that in is because, because Andy Bernard was on that road that day and nobody's questioning him. And he says he was at work all day.
Both us, TBI, and FBI had questioned him several times concerning that. Yes, he was on the road probably.
Yes. Did you hear that? Yes, he was on the road. And then he had to add probably. So, okay, I need you to listen to this because he hangs up on me. And it's concerning.
They don't care. They didn't care.
Yeah, I can tell. I could feel it. I could feel the tension. I could feel he was annoyed.
There's no passion. There's no passion in that. That's a throw out voice. That's what that is. You can tell what a passion voice is and what a throw out voice is.
Yep. I know. I felt I could just tell. That's why I was so nervous because I could feel his energy was just sitting there being like, you bitch for contacting TBI. You know, that's what I felt or something. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. Like I didn't know how to take this. Then I thought, well, there is a lot of pressure on him. Maybe he was annoyed that I was, he felt maybe I was giving him a hard time about Andy. I don't know, but watch how this uncovers or unfolds.
But most important is this dark blue pickup truck with tinted windows that you felt was very important in this tip.
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's important?
Because, we feel like Andy was meeting him. Because another person, now I promise to respect anything you do not want out on YouTube. I promise, because this is really important. But it's we feel there's another YouTuber who saw footage of Andy on the road on Simpson Road at 3:37 p.m. Fred remembers seeing a still shot, you guys showing him a still shot of Andy on the road with that blue truck following, like they were in the same still shot at 3:47 p.m. leaving out. Fred saw him on the road, like he had to move his trailer in order to let Andy by that day at around 3:47 p.m. And
do you know who's in the blue truck?
No, it was two.
In the blue truck, it was just two people, but the windows was tinted so dark I couldn't tell who was in it.
Yeah, the windows are tinted so dark.
Well, like I said, our agency, TBI, and the FBI have interviewed Mr. Bernard.
Well, he went on YouTube and put your guys' call out on YouTube, just so you know.
Well, ma'am, I'm not arguing with you. If you don't have anything further, we appreciate your information. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I didn't put this call out for like 2 or 3 months, okay? Because I didn't know what to think about what just happened.
And you said the wrong thing there. I'll tell you that.
I know.
When,
I thought, because did you hear Andy Bernard's call put out where he put out with Pruitt, where he's sitting there, Pruitt's like, oh, you're good. You're, basically making him feel comfortable and that
you're okay. You're a good old boy. They didn't want nothing to happen with that. Can I say something I don't know if you know about or not?
What?
The connection with Andy and Ronnie Lawson's son. Do you know that?
No, I didn't find a connect. I haven't found a connection between them yet. Who is it? Who is the connection?
Not for YouTube.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something to look into because, this is a whole ring and that's why it's so hard. When I was telling everybody last night when I was live, you see, and you know this, when they do bust on trafficking, it's in groups. It's never individual. It's never, let's take out one at a time.
It's a net.
So they have to take out all these, and that, I feel like they're looking for this person in the dark blue truck, and that's the last. I feel like that's the last piece of the puzzle. I feel like it's super important. I don't know. Fred never recognized the truck, never seen it around. I mean,
never seen it before or never seen it after.
We haven't had anybody say haven't seen this truck ever. So we believe it's from Knoxville. Somebody from Knoxville, probably. And I don't think they were even able to get the person's license plate.
I heard, hey, Fred, have you ever heard of a man named Wayne?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yeah. It's been turned into TBI.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's one that Don and Candace would hang around a lot, and he's a really bad character. He's probably a part of the ring too. That's just another person to add to all of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you think about this PI tip? Mark, do you, he kept saying he slipped at one point and it sounded like he said she.
He slipped twice. He slipped a bunch of times. And I'm not going to discredit him, but the fact of the matter is the information he's got and what he's got with is the same shit that I said years. When I said it was the Knoxville, Tennessee, when I said that, I'm the one that brought that out.
It's not new.
And then, no. And then him to go after it again. But here's the thing. The question that he's asking to get his information to find out whether it's viable information or not is what gets me. Because to be honest with you, child trafficking and child predators, it's a different kind of crime from anything else. Yes, it's the gateway. Yes, it is the stuff else. But this guy, and I'm not gonna discredit him, but just to come out and say, hey, there's a tip. He's on TV here. He's on this and that. I kind of want to hear more before I, make a definite decision, because the information he's got now, pulling away from the whales, that's not the right information.
Right.
If you go by statistics, the 90% is always going to hold with family. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to be. I don't think he knows what he's talking about when it comes. And I'm saying it professionally and courteous as I can. Detective investigator Jensen don't know what he's talking about when it comes to those statistics. He's not that kind of detective. I am that kind of detective. I'm an investigator. I know all about that stuff. He is not going to be able to overturn that. He can't.
I just don't see how. I don't understand. Like him white knighting for Dawn, that really made me sick. Like telling everybody to leave Dawn and Candace alone. That really made me.
He's trying to make bargains out with the cartel. Right now, Jensen is trying to make a bargain out with the cartel to try to get someone back across and trying to get Trump, President Trump's help on it. That right there, you can't bargain with the cartel.
Wow. Why are you so fidgety, Ziggy? I always am fidgety. It's just how I am. Yes, Lolly, I believe that's who Ernie is probably talking about. You believe Marlena was a distraction? You think the tip was from Marlena as well, Moonshine Girl? Yeah, I believe it was from Marlena Crawford. Do you have any idea who you believe who he's referring to as the brothers?
Me?
Yeah, and do you think that they're part of the ring? It's hard to say.
Okay. I believe where this is going to unfold at, and I know there's a lot of people watching this, and I know there's a couple of special people in here watching right now because I was already alerted, but I believe somebody didn't get paid and got mad, had information, and said, hey, wait a minute, there's a case on so-and-so here, and did what they did. That's what I believe. As far as going and contacting, I believe there was a side view of it that Mr. Jensen may have got a hold of, and he ran with it. Without checking it twice, he ran with it. That's what happened.
Yeah, I tried to get a hold of him. He wanted to. He left me on red. He's contacted everybody else and responded to everybody else. I didn't understand. He didn't. I was like, I'm pretty confident.
I missed that part. I wonder why he didn't want to talk to Ziggy, although I think now he has talked to Ziggy. I've spoken to Jensen, and if you ask me, Chris McDonough has hired him. Fuck, my husband got my phone. Haha. Remind me, my live tomorrow, I will read my messages with Jensen again. It is my opinion Chris McDonough hired Jensen. Whew. Hey, Mama. Sorry I stepped away, guys. My son just got his babies to sleep, and he was like, come smoke a blunt with me. So I was like, all right. We all smokers in this house. Hate on me if you want. It's natural, baby. It's all earth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It was before
I'll have a debate. Get it set up. Anybody, any creator. I'll have a debate with him, and I guarantee you, I'll leave him on red when it comes to this. He's jumping in the end of it. He don't know what he's talking about when it comes to that. I'm sorry, I'm being professional about it, as professional as I can be. But when it comes to missing children, you can't just put your guard up like that. You have to go full force in on it. You have to really dive.
Yeah.
He don't know what he's talking about. I'm just saying.
I don't feel like it's really much either. But I do believe that there could be a brother, Marlena Crawford's baby daddy has a brother who is a tattoo artist for Jody Sue, and Andy, who's an RSO, who is named Bradley. And we've covered him on here. We've seen him everywhere because we've looked into the RSOs in the area. The father of Journey is a known thief in the area, big time. Marlena Crawford is as well. They're part of a whole group of people. Marlena Crawford got caught with a bunch of got a bunch of bullshit with birth certificates and stuff. She claims she's being stalked by, who did she say besides Andy Bernard? Who was the other person that she was saying she was being stalked by? Was it Bill Shipley or was it?
No, she tried to say Tony Hammond's.
Yeah,
because she just run off at the mouth, I think, on that.
Wow.
Do you remember when Fred did his first interview with Ziggy and he was talking about Marlena? He's the one that brought Marlena's name up. And then he was like, oh, she's kind of sassy, smart ass. Him and Marlena never got along. Never. You could clearly tell that. No, Spider ain't Wayne. Spider is a man that Marlena was dating and staying in cemeteries with her brother Ricky. Karen Renfro told me about it. I read the messages not too long ago. If you want to go back, probably within the last 2 weeks or so. Yeah, Stephen Blake. I think that is it's Stephen. I'm not sure about the Blake, but the first name is Stephen, and it might be Blake. You might be right, little Dev. We just went over it not too long ago.
Wow. Let's see. My theory: if the drug ring is large, it means big bucks. That means corruption degree goes higher, which higher chances of corruption. Yep. The bigger the money, the higher the corruption. PI also said that John Ramsey was truthful. I thought you said Dawn finished her off with ew. Candace said she had missing BC and security card at one point early on. What's that mean? Oh, missing birth certificates. Birth certificates. Tony Hammonds is Long Legs. Is that his nickname or something? I had never heard of Tony Hammonds before.
Before this case,
So let's see. What else, guys? What else? Have you ever did in any of your besides hearing it from YouTube, did you ever hear of a mention of Playboy like come up?
I know who Playboy is.
You think you know?
Or was.
If somebody's trying to the person DJ Smith.
Well, okay, so there's
What was it exactly he said in my earlier live that I did early this morning? He didn't know nothing about this. He never heard nothing about it, nothing. Now all of a sudden Ernie has all this information that he's known forever, right? Ernie, either you're full of shit or you're involved in something. Either you're a liar or there's something fucking wrong with your head.
Have you ever heard, Fred? Have you ever heard of a guy named Okay, let's just say this. His last name is Holt, Holt.
Holt.
No.
Holt.
No, I've never heard of him. No Holt.
Okay.
Holt. There's Smith, the one that the contact from Knoxville, claimed that he knew Playboy and but claimed that there was actually technically multiple Playboys, whatever that means.
Supposed to say it was two different ones, a light skin and a dark skin.
What about a guy named Crybaby?
What a Crybaby? Do you know somebody who goes by Crybaby?
Mm-hmm.
No.
But the light skin Playboy was one that was supposedly that had Summer.
Yeah.
Summer and 9 other girls and 1 boy.
So yeah.
You talking about the Playboy that had the 8-ball tattooed on him and stuff?
I've never really seen.
I think he had like I'm trying to remember the 8-ball, and he had the symbols on his arms and stuff.
I'm not sure. If you listen to
he used to be. I'll tell you where he used to be. He used to be in a juvenile facility. He was a younger like guy. I know this because I transported him. Okay. I transported him. I've got videos of him. It's got his tattoos, what he was doing when he was cuffed. We actually had him cuffed to the hospital bed at one time. And you can see all of his signs and symbols on his arms. I've got the video for that.
Have you heard any gang ties, like, of any specific gangs come up? Like, well, we've heard of Mafia. Like, see, Playboy, we were told was Vice Lord affiliated. And
he was supposed to be the highest ranking Vice Lord.
Yeah, and actually the Playboy I'm talking about is older but looks younger, light skinned, and from according to this woman I spoke to who claimed to be a regular of Don Wells. Somebody want to ask you about the occult ties. Like, I'm interested in that too, because which we've already kind of talked about, like.
And let's also keep in mind, Pam, that this morning we busted Ernie stating 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, actually January 22nd will be 4 years, that he was in complete contact with the people who were contacting Andrew to go kidnap Hunter. Ain't that some funny fucking shit? You're done, Ernie.
I mean, in a way, do you think
Anybody who missed my earlier live, it's a must watch.
that there's some kind of like Rick Crawford, Marlena Crawford's dad told Fred that Don told him that Don Wells told Rick Crawford before he passed away that he sacrificed Summer for his sins. And he felt horrible, was crying, and supposedly that's right. What did Rick Crawford?
I told you what Candace told me he done. So we all know that. I don't want to go to the graphic detail of it, but I also heard too that before all this, I know that the people that I talked to that used to party with Don in that house, that it was a sex house, and they would go up to Don's and they would screw around. I've also heard that the kids were there while it happened in a different room, and that they would run into them ever so often.
Yeah.
I know the people before Don and Candace ever came on the internet, before they became, who they are now, and everybody believing this or that. That house was a fucking mess. It was pretty much a sex house, is what it was.
I mean, Fred talked about on our first interview how he, about how they even had a sign there that they had to get. He had a sign, a plywood sign, with sex acts on it. That got. I mean,
different levels of it. When I first did an interview with Don, he was talking about the dominatrix stuff and the levels of it. And I was like, a normal person wouldn't know levels, wouldn't understand that. They would be like, well, it's just like simple, basic. But that son of a bitch is into every damn thing in the world, especially with Doms and shit. He's a dominatrix to hell. I don't know if y'all remember this, like when he said he did the Benny Keys. He told me what he did to Benny Keys.
I heard that for the first time, like yesterday in that clip.
I was like, Don, we was having a conversation. Don, we was on and he knew it. We just had, we just sat there bullshitting around. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, that little bit. He said, I took and gave him how did he say? He said, pardon my French, stuck a syringe in his ass. Stuck a syringe in his ass or something like that and bent him over on my couch. And I was like, he was like, yeah. And Don, he was on that. He was like, yeah. And he was going in it. I was like, what? What did I just hear? What? Oh my God. It was wild. He was like, yeah. He said, I bent that bitch over.
Yeah, out in the open is, these people are putting the stuff out there right in the open for us, right in front of us. Like everything's hiding in plain sight here. And
do you remember when Benny? Do you remember when Benny came up on my panel, and we were sitting there talking, and Don was in the back. He was on the toilet, and he stood up, and Candace had the tie off and everything that was on there, and Benny Keys' face was going.
That's a lie. Benny wasn't on Ernie's panel when that fucking happened. Benny was on a live with Dawn. Dawn was reading a note that Prayer Garden wrote to his daughter because Dawn and Candace were so fucking high. They couldn't even write their own words to their own child. Who's missing? We Could Bring You Hope was on the other side of the phone telling them, sit down, Dawn, sit down. Where the fuck are you in Pittsburgh, you motherfucker? Let's go have lunch. Come change my mind about you, Ernie.
Because he couldn't believe he couldn't believe he brought him up there. And I'm sitting there like, Benny? He was like, his eyes. Don had them shades on. He was like, hey, and he pretty much turned the camera over, and Candace is over in the corner like he's right here. And
oh my God,
that's like, God,
I remember that. That was crazy. She looked like she was dead almost. So
the video with the summer dancing in the rain, the red barrel for sale. Notice all those.
And then the sickest part about it is that these two were laughing. And there's Ziggy. She looked like she was almost dead. No, Ziggy, they truly have a problem, and they truly have children that do not live with them because of their problem. Ziggy, it's quite sad. They have a missing daughter because they can't quit drinking and using. And they did it online for all of us to see while people exploited the fuck out of it. And that's exactly what you're doing in this moment while you and Ernie sit there and fucking laugh about it. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Those photos that were taken, she's directly inside.
Like that red barrel with the for sale sign. Yeah, that was definitely like a message to somebody. And I do think it's important to know when that video was taken, because it's probably was the video that advertised her. And what
That's exactly what it was. Exactly. And the one with the panda sitting in beside in the pool and her right directly in it and everything, and the money sign. Remember that?
Yeah.
Everything linked up. That's why when Andrew Hiltz come out and he was panda, I was like, he was like, well, I promise I didn't know. I'm like, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like hiding in plain sight. Like everything's out in the open, and all these people connected, just like Allie and them. I mean, she even said Allie was connected to even Andy Bernard and Don Wells and all of them. I mean, they're all the bottom shed. It's weird how Don went there first. Don't you think? It's like, almost like he knew because he had bad things happening at that shed or something. Or maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. Why do you think he went there first? Do you think that was anything? Or do you think it's just
I know where the shed's at. I've been on that hill.
The one that's like on Beach Creek? You know what I mean? That other house, or crappy building or whatever.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was probably an instinct moment he had for him to go in, because it's repetitious, and him just to go there automatically. Your mind would automatically do that, just to go and check. You ever catch yourself doing something? Just catch yourself doing something that you naturally do, and you're like, wait a minute, what am I here? You just automatically do it. That's probably what he did. It's a moment to there.
So it probably wasn't anything except the fact that we saw, that white HHR sitting out there, that was sitting out there for days before Summer went missing.
And then I didn't see it. I didn't go out on the 14th at all. But Jackie Dogg spoke about it on a live that he had seen it there on the 14th, but it was there on the morning of the 15th, but was it there at the evening of the 15th?
Yeah, it had been there for days, and then suddenly after Summer goes missing, it's gone. And it was a white HHR, and yeah. So
but they've confirmed who was driving it. So
they think they confirmed who drive that, supposedly confirmed to be tied to Cotton Simpson. And
it wasn't Cotton, but it was a relative.
It was relative.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. I don't know much about Cotton. I never did look into him, but I did find out something. I know that, his untimely, what happened to him. I heard about him when he passed away, but what was his ties to Knoxville?
Cotton?
Yeah.
I don't know really what his ties was to Knoxville.
It was through his relative in that HHR, wasn't it?
I really hadn't talked to Cotton that much. I just know what I've been told about him and stuff. I do know Cotton was the big meth cook for the longest time
in the area. Yeah, he was like the main meth cook. And you remember that fire? He's the one that got in that fire on the mountain. And that was from cooking meth, but he obviously that's not what it was reported as, but he was cooking meth and caught himself in a fire, and they had to rescue him.
Fred, I'm so glad you got out of the area, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm glad. I'm really
glad out of the area.
Yeah.
I know he still has the property that he can go to at 207. I mean, that him and his siblings, like any of them can go to. But you know, I mean, well, it's almost like, yeah,
I thought Fred couldn't go to that property. I thought Karen banned him from it. Ziggy, and you're not welcome there. Nobody wants you in Ben Hill. Isn't that what they've been saying, or is that all full bullshit? What did we hear you say earlier? In January of 2022, you got a speeding ticket in Ohio. What the fuck was you doing in Ohio? Hi, Six Up. Was you visiting your buddy so you can talk? Make up your scheme, your plan, your lies? Hey, Mama Bear. Welcome back. These two make me sick, man. Something ain't right.
I'm really glad I don't even know if he would have. I was so scared that he was going to end up dead like all these other people.
Yeah, I did too. I believe it's more of the good old boy system there that.
Oh my gosh!
Let's look at it this way. This is kind of creepy and it's kind of eerie at the same time. Most people in the Summer Wells case, if you really look at it, they're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It doesn't seem normal. It doesn't seem. It seems like way more people passing away than normal. You know, and that's, I knew, I was just like, I kept, and now people, I struggled with it because I'm like, am I putting Fred in more danger? You know, when I first started working with him, like by putting him out there like that, because he was very shy, and really I'm the one that put him out there. He wasn't like trying to be out there and stuff like that. He was okay with it. I mean, he knew I was recording him and stuff. And he had worked with police, but yeah.
You know, there was a few things about that whole case. With the timeline too. The timeline's made up. I don't believe the timeline. The one they go by now, I don't believe it.
When do you think it happened? I mean, Andy on the road.
I think Andy was also up on that hill too as well.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny?
Matter of fact, I can about say I know he was up on that hill.
Yep, and so can Fred.
I think he was one that done
Yeah, or his son. His son is, in our opinion, he got his son involved, and allegedly people there was
went down that hill to the road.
That's what Fred's theory is, that it was his son that was the one that. But I don't know. I don't really believe that I believe Don and Candace are involved. There's no way that this was just like.
No.
Andy had to pull his part, and Andy got certain ones tied up so they'd keep her mouth shut.
Yeah.
Exactly. I believe it was a money owed situation. Some things could have happened. I don't know exactly the ending of it. Everything, the keys are all there. The puzzles are always there. The only piece of the puzzle left is Summer. That's it.
But I do feel like Candace was lied to. I believe that Dawn made her feel like they was going to get her right back, you know?
Yeah, we feel like Candace was lied to.
When they called her in missing, though, that's what, from my understanding in Knoxville, that's what messed the whole everything up, her being returned.
Yeah, Fred, you know, I talked to Candace.
Tom thought he'd get out of paying the debt back and stuff, and they just bring her back and drop her out if he reported her missing, and it didn't happen like that.
No.
So
you know, I don't. You know, when Dawn went to jail, Candace didn't have nobody she could really relate to. She could just, you know, for the longest time, you see her, she's sick, she was this, she was that. I've got messages. Oh my God.
That's funny he brought that up. I was watching an old Benny live the other night looking for something, and something Benny said resonated with me. When Dawn went to jail, Ernie wouldn't go up on that hill if Dawn was home. Why does he wait for Dawn to go to jail to go up on the property trying to get Candace pizza in the middle of the night? Then the next day they're meeting each other at some smoke shop somewhere out in the way yonder, and then she's moving in with Kathy and they're going and throwing phones in a fucking lake and putting on a production. What the fuck is going on here? This is the weirdest shit.
God. And she would, one minute she would say certain things, the next minute she would be, with her friend and stuff and be back on track the way it was all scheduled to be. There's more people. Let me just say this. There's more than one or two people involved in this.
Yeah.
A lot more. Even the people who Candace associated with, I'll say this, her comfort people, they know. Because a woman like that, and you can look at Don and Candace both now. Look at them. Just if you take the 3 or 4 years look how much they've aged. Look at how it's worrying us. It's worrisome. They don't know whether it's worrying about their daughter. Is it worried about that, or is it worried that they're ever going to get caught? That's what they're worried about. Is the getting caught part. Do you agree, Fred?
Yeah, he said, do you think that, what do you think Candace thought happened to Summer at first? Like, what do you think she was told? Do you think she was aware? Because we believe that she was told that, oh, they're going to get Summer back once the debt's paid.
That was supposed to be in the plan.
That was, according to Dennis Smith, that was the plan, that they were supposed to get Summer back after some kind of debt was paid. But obviously it didn't. I must not worked out because
when Don called her in missing that day, that's what changed everything.
And then
But if everything's correct, what DJ Smith and stuff got out of Knoxville, Summer was still in Knoxville last year.
I'm still alive up until
about the middle of last year.
May of last year, but
that's
So that's a good question, because I go back and forth, Mallory. I'm not for Dawn and Candace, and I'm not against them neither. I feel sorry for them and the exploitation that they've been put through here on YouTube, but I also believe they play fuck shit games with their PIs and Tim Mullen. I try to stay unbiased over here and look at the bigger picture, and I pray that at the end Candace is innocent and Dawn is innocent, and then I will be the first person to fly, not drive, to Tennessee and give them the biggest motherfucking hug they can ever have in their life. I hope that they are innocent, but I see fuck shit games and I call it how it is. I've never had contact with Candace. I've had very minimal contact with Dawn. I don't know them people, and I kept it that way purposefully because I want to remain unbiased, and I've watched people come out here and use Candace for content, and I've also watched Candace use people for, I don't know. She's played a lot of games. Right. All I want is justice for this baby. I don't want to love, hate. I don't hate Candace and Dawn. We're taught to love everybody. And we know they haven't been arrested yet. I don't know if they played a part, but in my opinion, it looks like they have, or that they know what has happened to their child. And I don't know where I stand when it comes to them too. I just pray the best when all is said and done. And I pray justice for Summer. If that makes sense.
That's a blessing that she still, but then again, I mean,
he even claimed at one point he was with her, and he's like, what do I do? And then, like, Fred's contacting me, like, what? I'm like, What do you mean? What do you? Like the guy. He's like he claimed, and we're like, well, where are you? You know what I mean? Like what? You know, he claimed he was at Playboy's house and everything. So
Hey, what happened? What? Well, I don't know. Yeah. What happened exactly to Playboy?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. The one that I believe is Playboy. I don't know.
I don't know how much to put out of what come out of Knoxville, you know.
Didn't he just
down to detail? I mean, how it's supposed to.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know.
Yeah, I just heard about the Colleen thing. Well, I remembered that DJ Smith's girlfriend was supposed to be basically like, taking care of the girls. You know, kind of like how Ernie talked about.
The main two names that he mentioned was Summer Wells and
Jonathan Tate. He named a kid named Jonathan Tate, but we can't find any kid named Jonathan Tate anywhere. That missing anywhere. He said a kid named Jonathan Tate out of Knoxville. And I didn't see anything. Now there's I didn't.
See, some of the girls were supposed to be.
Maybe he wasn't reported. You know, some of these kids I'm sure aren't reported. But
what did you say, Fred?
Some of the girls were supposed to be in Sullivan County. That was
Kingsport.
Yeah.
Well, see, there was a girl that went missing right when Summer went missing, right there in Sullivan County, right there in Kingsport. I remember because Summer took all the attention from that because I remember when it came up, and I can't remember exactly. And that'd be something to go back and look at. But I know there was was it like 3 or 4 around that area that went missing at the time? If you really want to push it back,
just like the little
that
girl
would be something.
Like to say he was trying to save up off of Mountain View and stuff. See, that little girl is
Cotton Simpson's relative.
Yeah. And it didn't unfold like Don tried to say it did. By the grandfather, what he told.
Because Fred talked to the grandfather and he said, go ahead. And what?
He talked like Don was trying to get her in the truck, trying to get her. When he heard the truck door shut and stuff, and he come out. So I don't know. I'm just going by what he had told Kojak.
And what's weird, it's like, was that some kind of revenge or something? Because it's Cotton Simpson's relative or niece or something.
Yeah. And if you see a picture that I've got of her, Way Summers in that one red dress, Way Summers' face, and
their eyes. They look like they're messed up.
Just like that.
Yeah, her eyes all big and like, oh man. But killer looks.
Why do you say shit like that? Her brothers may watch this, Ziggy. Why do you and Fred say the most hurtful ass shit for them to hear? Why can't you just keep to details? It's so sad. You would do anything for clout and money. What if this was your daughter, Ziggy?
He got arrested sleeping in a car in Knoxville for trafficking and died later. Oh, the one that I believe is Playboy. I mean, that's just a theory. I believe the guy's name is Marcus Washington, and he's deceased now. Playboy. That's just a theory. I am just going by his connections to Rogersville and him arrested at Rogersville for warrants for sex trafficking out of Knox County and Knoxville area, and his vice lord's ties and all that stuff. And he died in 2023, May of 2023, and. They have been selling her before. Yeah. What do you believe it's Marcus Washington killer looks? I mean, now it's okay. I feel like it's okay to say because he's not with us anymore, but I didn't know she was related.
Ziggy, you've been bringing the same Playboy out for a long time. But now it's safe because he's not alive anymore. However, if he's affiliated with this Vice Lords gang, Don't you think his people are going to come after you? It's a gang, Ziggy. Not to mention the story changed that it was Fred in court, and it was a Hispanic looking guy that went up to the judge and mentioned he knew something about Summer's case. And now it turns into this big elaborate ass fucking story that makes no motherfucking sense. Listen, guys, I've been on my 2 hours. I'm going to put this tab down, and we are definitely going to finish this in the morning. This will be my live. I know I always say I'm coming back with something, and I don't, but there's an hour left of this, and I'll find something to couple with it. I've had enough of this. And where is she, by the way? All of a sudden, she's a gamer, not putting out content, getting quiet, even more weird. More things to add to her grifting, to her scamming, trying to pull in a new crowd with all of her new names nobody but her ever fucking heard. Ernie playing fuck shit games, traveling the fucking country. Ernie, I want to change my mind about you. Let's go have lunch. I know you're here. And if you're not, you were. Shit's getting real dumb. And it's noticeable. Everybody fucking sees it. Now. Hey, question. I'm sorry, baby. I'm just getting off. Hubby's going to be home in less than an hour. And I want to go jam to some music a little bit. But I'll be back tomorrow morning and we're going to finish this. So if you haven't watched and you're just coming in, go back, rewind. Watch my live from this morning and listen to the lies and the changes between the years. Read my chat. Learn who lived by who. Start putting the connections together. All right, guys. Pez amore, peace and love. I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.